You've been calling out Secretary of State Antony Blinken for wasting millions of U.S. tax dollars, specifically this. You say the State Department is sending $500,000 to Nepal to promote atheism, more than $10 million to the Taliban, and spending $312 million to build a port in Gaza that ended up empowering Hamas. We have that on the screen here from you, sir. How do you plan on holding the State Department accountable for this, and how did you get a hold of this information?
These are just tip of the iceberg issues. $500,000 is a lot of money to most people, but I think a lot of people recognize it's a very small amount in the world of the U.S. government. That's one of tens of thousands of grants that the State Department sends around the world. And the Secretary of State, others high up in the State Department, they have no idea where this money is going. They deny it. We write them 10, 20, 30 letters about these things. They'll deny it until you actually put the proof in front of your face. Hey, here it is. Here it says right here on this request that you want to expand atheism in Nepal. Here it is, says $500,000. Here it says how you're going to achieve that. Here's the group Humanist International over in England that you're going to give $500,000 of America's money to do this, to basically produce a 100-page PowerPoint, send it to a country where the average daily wage is $2 a day for $500,000, and they're going to pocket $499,000 in their corporate offices and pay it out to their people. That's the way the State Department wastes your money over and over and over again.
Can we focus in on the Taliban? Millions of dollars going to the Taliban? What's going on? What's that being used for?
So again, think about it a little bit of the way that I just said it. You have the State Department. They take in billions of dollars of your money. Then they have partnering groups or non-government organizations, grant recipients in Afghanistan and other countries. And they all say, hey, well, we want to take a couple million of those dollars and we want to do something good in Afghanistan for. So please give us that money. State Department gives them that money. And it's basically just a filter to send it to the Taliban. Sometimes the Taliban will just take it, like you might imagine they strong arm it. Sometimes they do it in the form of saying, well, we're going to give you a tax or a value-added tax, or we're going to do it in this way, but very literally U.S. tax dollars going directly to the Taliban, who is now welcoming in, of course, Al-Qaeda, ISIS-K, ISIL, you name it. So we're essentially, again, funding our allies in the same way that we're doing in Gaza right now.
Well, switching up to something that
funding our enemies in the same way we're doing in Gaza.
Sure. Switching to Memorial Day, coming up this weekend, this is a time when we honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for this country. I know you've served in the armed forces, and this day means so much to this country. Talk to us about what it means to you specifically, the time that you've served, the men and women that you've served by.
You know, I very literally just came back from the Vietnam Memorial while I was out there with a host of my colleagues, that we were just putting scrub brushes and soap on the wall, just cleaning it off, remembering those that gave that ultimate sacrifice in Vietnam, out there with some of my brothers and sisters in arms that did serve in Vietnam before I came in. And I couldn't help but literally weep when I was out there. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help the tears from pouring down my face, even though I wasn't in Vietnam myself. I was in Afghanistan. And it's because, man, when we get around Memorial Day, I think about the sacrifice of friends that I've lost. Sometimes when I hear taps just playing in the background, I mean, I've just heard it too many times, seen flags draped over the caskets of my friends, and those individuals, man, that served in that way.
Yeah, I know this. I know it's an emotional time. Memorial Day, again, remember those that have died. Much different than Veterans Day. And Congressman, if I can, you know, you suffered a life-altering injury, and you're still with us today. Much different than others here. The good Lord wanted you to be here, obviously for a reason, sir, right?
Yeah, you know, you can't explain it. An inch to the left or right in combat. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's all right, Congressman.
We're glad you're here to share this message, by the way, with viewers. It's an emotional one. It's such a clear reminder of the importance of this weekend of Memorial Day. Thank you for taking the time this morning, sir, and walking us through it. Florida Congressman Brian Mast, thank you so much. All right, we'll have you back soon.